The new Black Ops 6 Season 3 update patch notes just went live, and we're gonna be going over everything that changed within the new 1.71 update here in multiplayer. Now, they went ahead and did some weapon balancing. So after watching the video, let me know down in the comment section if this update is a W or a complete L. And as always, if you want to stay up to date with any and all news, updates, best class setups, as well as a settings update, feel free, drop a like in the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications, and let's get into it, y'all. We're gonna be jumping right to the weapon balance. A major focus for our weapon balance changes in Season 3 is to enable more gameplay variety. W. Almost every attachment that modifies the core behavior of a weapon is receiving an important improvement to help with its viability in the meta. It is our goal to ensure that all existing and future weapon mods feel fun and powerful to use. That's really important because there's a lot of attachments in Black Ops 6 right now that are completely useless. Semi-auto weapons are another broad target for buffs this patch. Awesome. The changes aim to make these weapons more accessible and competitive, as well as create more distinct gameplay feel between faster semi-auto primaries. This is really important because the semi-automatic weapons in recent Call of Duties have not been good whatsoever, so I'm liking what I am seeing. As a last top-level note, the Season 3 patch includes adjustments to the Jackal PDW. This is amazing. More details on the thinking behind the change can be found below. Our weapon balance philosophy is to be conservative with nerfs and to always consider whether there is an opportunity to elevate other weapons instead. I wonder where they heard that from. I'm not taking credit for that, but I've always preached this. Let's stop nerfing guns, except weapons that are blatantly broken, like the Jackal PDW, and buffing weapons that are underperforming. In this case, we feel strongly that tuning down the Jackal PDW will be good for the health of the weapon meta going forward. I 100% agree, because right now, the only two guns realistically that, you know, are usable in multiplayer if you're playing against an entire team that are running the two guns are the Jackal PDW as well as the Amy's 85. Those are two guns people use, like literally, if you've ever been into like a sweat lobby, it's literally like 3 Jackals, 3 Amy's. You either leave the room or run your own Jackal or Amy's 85 class, and that gets really frustrating really fast. So I'm really happy they're thinking about adjusting that weapon. Let's go ahead and take a look at this, y'all. The assault rifles, the XM4, the 3-round burst mod is getting a buff. Burst fire delay reduced from 160 milliseconds to 140 milliseconds. This is amazing because the XM4 3-round burst mod, in my personal opinion, is one of the best ways to utilize the XM4, and they just made it even better. I'm 110% going to revisit this weapon with an updated class setup that I'm going to bring to the channel, because I think this is going to be a top contender for the mid-range meta here in Black Ops 6 multiplayer. Now, the GPR, reduced visual recoil. This weapon needed a damage and a overall range buff in my personal opinion, but I'll go ahead and take it. The GPR 91, they got a buff, you know, at least it didn't get nerfed. Now, the Goblin MK2. The Goblin MK2 is getting a light rework that significantly improves its rate of fire. We wanted to give players a truly fast-firing semi-auto primary option, and doing so also opened some design space for the TR2 to receive buffs while maintaining its own identity. Although the Goblin MK2 loses some damage with this change, it now has better range and stronger headshot potential. Players who can land multiple headshots will find the improved CHF barrel to be especially lethal. So they actually went ahead and the medium damage has been reduced. The medium damage range, the maximum damage range has been dropped from 40 to 33, but they did buff the damage all the way up to 25.4 meters. This is always kind of confusing to read this. I think they need to revise this going forward in next Call of Duty games. Medium damage range, like this maximum, medium, minimum, like they need to get rid of this. Medium damage range, they reduced it from 37 to 28, and the range has now been improved from 41.3 meters to now 44.5 meters, and the minimum damage range has been reduced from 30 down to 24, and its range has been improved from 41 to 44.5. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of this buff slash nerf to the Goblin MK2. We're gonna have to get hands with this weapon. Additional adjustments: rate of fire improved from 460 to 600. Oh, that's massive. ADS speed improved from 240 to 230. Attachment adjustments: CHF barrel headshot multiplier increased from 1.5 to 1.6. So this weapon received a buff and a nerf technically, but this XM4 buff really has me interested, man. This honestly might be better than the Goblin MK2 with this burst mod. Now, they actually went ahead and adjusted the AS valve. The AS valve saw a couple of nerfs early on in Black Ops 6, and we agree with feedback that it was a bit too much. I 100% agree. It will be getting most of its max damage range back, as well as some improved mobility. That is a massive, massive W. So they're going ahead and buffing its range back up to 19.1 meters, and everything else is pretty much going to be the same. Movement speed increased from 4.7 to 4.8. ADS movement speed increased from 3.2 to 3.3, and the CHF barrel vertical recoil penalty reduced from 50% to 30%. So the AS Val is probably going to be actually a top contender. Again, we're gonna go ahead and make an updated class setup on the AS Val and the XM4, as well as the Goblin MK2 as well. Now for the submachine guns, the Tanto 22, the binary trigger is receiving a handful of changes to make it more viable to the base Tanto 22 build. It's getting some nice range improvements alongside recoil and headshot buffs that help it lean into more of a mid-range accuracy archetype. So they're going ahead and buffing up the range from 14.6 to 15.9. That's for the maximum. The medium is now up to 27.9. The medium damage range 2. It's like, this is confusing. I don't like this. Maybe I'm just not thinking, hard enough, but I think they need to just rework all this. Medium damage range 2 is being increased up to 35.6, and the minimum damage range is going to be increased up to 35.6. Binary trigger attachment, additional adjustments. Headshot damage scaling increased from 12% to 15. Vertical recoil improvement increased from 10% to 20, and they're also improving horizontal recoil improvement from 10% to 20. Okay, so this actually is going to be a lot better than it was before, because the binary trigger, it was good, but just running this weapon without it was obviously better because it's going to be hitting a lot harder, and the Tanto was never really a bad SMG to begin with. I'm honestly curious why they even put the binary trigger on the Tanto. Now, here's the Jackal PDW. This is where I think they did right. Let's talk about the Jackal PDW. The Jackal is intended to have best-in-class handling and excellent mobility. After giving it some time with its current tuning, those of you who joined us for the beta will remember where it started. We feel that it's still too versatile and limits SMG diversity. I 100% agree. We are increasing the recoil and reducing the range a touch. The foregrips that improve horizontal recoil will also be less effective. On the flip side, it is receiving a minor improvement to headshot damage in its minimum damage range. We're also updating the slide and dive to fire times to be above average for SMGs. Our goal with these adjustments is to not kill the Jackal PDW, but we want to emphasize the need to play to its strengths. We'll be keeping a close eye on these changes and your feedback to gauge its further adjustments are necessary to find the weapons in its sweet spot. Now here, the maximum damage range has been reduced from 17.1 to 15.9. Medium has been reduced from 22 to 21.6. Medium damage range 2 has been reduced from 32.4 to 29.2, and the minimum damage range has been increased from 15 to 16, but they did go ahead and reduce it from 32.4 to 29.2. Headshot multiplier decreased from 1.27 to 1.24. This is multiplayer only, not Warzone. Slide to fire time improved from 320 to 300. Dive to fire time improved from 400 to 380. Increased recoil, strength, and deviation, so it's going to have more recoil. Now, the vertical foregrip horizontal recoil improvement reduced from 30 to 20. Holy shit. Ranger foregrip horizontal recoil improvement reduced from 13 to 10. So I think the KSV is now going to take its place as King Daddy SMG here in multiplayer, but we will see. I will make an updated Jackal PDW class setup for you guys as well. Now, the Compact 92. We think the Compact 92 3-round burst mod is in a good spot, but it has room for a little more upside given the raw power trade-off when compared to the base weapon. Reducing the recoil lets this version of the Compact 92 stretch out its range more. That is a W, which is the advantage to choosing the burst instead of full auto. So 3-round burst mod, reduced view, kick, strength, and deviation, and they also reduce gun kick strength. So the Compact 92 burst mod also might be valid. I'm really curious to see how this is going to play out. I'm really curious. I think these changes are in the right direction as far as the weapon balance goes for the ARs and SMGs. Now, shotguns. All 3 shotguns have improvements to their alternate ammo types. Dragon's Breath, Slug... Okay, I'm not reading any more of that. I'm going to get upset. Now, marksman rifles. As noted in the general selection, semi-auto marksman rifles are getting buffs to help them contend with the other weapon classes. Rate of fire is the main tool here, as that improves CTK and makes missed shots more forgiving. So the DM10, they're actually improving this weapon quite a bit here. In addition to rate of fire and flinch improvements, the DM10 is receiving a damage change that makes the CHF barrel a one-shot kill in the max damage range. Damn. As a trade-off, the CHF barrel now has a higher recoil penalty. So this does 65 damage now post-patch. Holy cow, for the maximum damage range, and they're overall leaving everything else the same. Rate of fire improvements from 300 RPM to 330. Receive flinch reduction by 20%, and the CHF barrel is going to have a vertical penalty improved from 55% to 60%, and horizontal penalty increased from 20% to 40%. Wow. But this is actually putting it on par with a lot of the other marksman rifles. This is going to be the best marksman rifle in the entire game. I can guarantee you that right now. The Tarsov rate of fire improved from 200 to 230. The AEK full auto mod slightly reduced view kick strength. That's nice because this weapon does have a lot of recoil with that mod. And for the TR2, the TR2 is receiving is a weapon that we know missed the mark for many people, 100%. Its damage is unchanged, but a 20% improvement to rate of fire makes it much more spammable. It's also receiving a huge flinch reduction and a nice max damage range buff. Design intent for the TR2 is to take on a hybrid marksman rifle to assault rifle role previously filled by the Goblin MK2. So the TR2 essentially is going to be the Goblin MK2 now, where they improved the range from 24.1 to now 29.2. Everything else is the same, but they went ahead and improved the sprint of fire from 400 to 480, slide to fire from 370 to 360, dive to fire improved from 450 to 440, and received flinch reduction by 40%, which is actually huge. So the TR2 is definitely going to be viable. We're taking a look at the TR2, the DM10 here, the shotguns. For obvious reasons, I hope they just stay dead because those have just been broken in every COD except Black Ops 6. We're taking a look at the Compact 92, the Jackal, the Tanto, the AS-Val, the Goblin, as well as the XM4. So a good amount of weapons actually got adjusted this update, which is a massive, massive W in my personal opinion. Now, movement updates: increase crouch to stand speeds by 15%, increase crouch to stand speeds while ADS by 39%, and increase directional sprint animation blend speeds for improved fluidity. Spawns: adjust an issue where players could spawn at an active shot charge placement. Holy cow, I'm glad that never happened to me, but we'll see if that's actually true. Perks. Close shade, this is launch. Automatically use your dedicated melee when you perform a melee butt attack. We covered that in the previous update video. Dispatcher. Increase the score bonus for interceptors from 100 to 125. Heavy minigun that fire with a fast fire rate, so they're adding this the death machine. We covered that in the last update. Interceptors, here we go. Reduce score from 1150 to 1025. And the war machine here, reduced score from 1300 to 1150. Wow, this is actually a massive W in my opinion. That's awesome. I really like that. Now, movement updates. Reduce slide in max speed scale from 1.6 to 1.55, and the reduce slide max time from 0.7 to 0.65. Okay, so overall, this weapon balance update, I think, is honestly a massive W, except the shotguns, because honestly, the shotguns, they need to stay where they are. They just need to stay where they are, in my personal opinion. But let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of this weapon balance update. Is this a W or an L? Like I said, I will be making updated class setups on all the weapons that did receive buffs as well as nerfs, so we can figure out exactly how to make these weapons meta again, or even better than they already were. If you guys enjoy, drop a like in the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications, it's been your boy Ears, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.